Got a bit of maintenance to do to the Razor today. I need to change the front differential fluid. So I've put her into the workshop, reversed her in, so she's on a flat surface. I've got some mats to lie on. Put my oil drain pan under there ready. There's the drain plug to get the fluids out. But before I take that out, I'm actually going to take the level plug out. Because if you can't get the level plug out and you've already drained your fluids, you're in trouble. So the level plug lives on the side of the differential here. This is on the passenger side as you're sitting in the buggy. So my first thing is to get the drain plug out. So I'm going to set the camera up and I'll show you what I'm doing. There's a front view of the diff. Whilst I'm here, I'm just going to check my CV gaiters and they're all okay. The tools I'm going to use for this job are an 8mm Allen, short extension and a 3/4 ratchet. So we'll remove the filler plug first. That was tight. At least she's come out, she's undone. Check your O-ring that's on the filler plug. Actually the fluid in this, looking what's on the filler plug, is still clean. Anyhow, we're going to drain it out. I want to change it. It's been in there for 200 miles. Keep all your parts safe. To the drain plug now. I'll put a pair of gloves on now because I've got a funny feeling I'm going to get covered in oil. There she goes. And there's not a lot in these. You can probably see there's a bit of debris on the magnet. Again, O-ring's in good condition. Just going to let that drain for a little bit. Let's go back to the drip. I'm just going to leave it. As you can see, it's just let it drain. I'm going to come back once it's finished draining. Whilst you're waiting for your oil to finish draining, now's a good time to get your handbook out and get the fluids you're going to put into your front diff out and some form of getting the fluid into the front diff. So I'm going to go, I've got the handbook open here now. I always keep it handy. And what I'm looking for is the fluid level for my front differential. There she is. Demand drive fluid capacity 200 millilitres. So I know how much fluid I need to put in the bottle now to fill it up. And the fluid I'm using is this stuff here, which I've used for a long time. It's an equivalent spec oil to the on-demand fluid, and the way I get the fluid in is I use this pressure bottle, which has got a tube on it which I can put into the fill plug and pump it in. So I'm going to set all that up now, put 200 ml of fluid in that, ready for setting up. So I'm going to get myself some gloves sorted out. I've got a clean funnel. And I'm going to stick 200 millilitres of fluid into my bottle. My bottle's all calibrated. Put that to one side whilst the fluid drains out of the funnel, and I'm now going to put my drain plug back in. Move my drain tin and position my drain plug back into the bottom of the differential. Just nip it up hand tight. And I'm just going to snug it up. So we've drained the fluid, checked all the O-rings, cleaned the magnet, cleaned around the drain plug, put it back in, and now we're ready for the refill. So now, before I fill up, I'm just going to give that a wipe off, make sure there's no debris around it, and away we go. I've actually put the drain pan back underneath. Actually, need to come in from the front. There we are. And I'm going to pump my fluid in. I'm actually going to move you away so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to pump the fluid in till it reaches the bottom of the fill hole. You'll know when it's at the correct level, and it'll dribble out at the bottom. I think I'm going to have to put a little bit more fluid in my bottle. I can actually see the fluid level. Yep, I do need just a little bit more fluid in my bottle. So let's do that. Let's rest that on there. There's so little fluid in these, if you don't put enough in, I'm always worried about it. So I'm just going to put I would, if I could, put that there we are, just a bit more light. Okay, I'm just going to pump it in until it comes out. And you can just see the fluid now dribbling out of the fill plug. So we'll get you let's get you in a little bit better. I'll just give it one more pump and you can see what I've done. That is now, when it's finished dribbling, the correct level. You can sacrifice a little bit, you're not losing a lot of fluid. Stop dribbling. I can put the fill plug back into the differential now. Sorry, my hands are in the way here of everything, can't they? Again, I just snug it up by hand. And I nip it, and that is it. That's your front on-demand differential oil changed. Doesn't take very long, but it's something you should do on a regular occurrence, because the amount of fluid these things hold is absolutely minimal. That's working hard when you're out off-roading and four-wheel driving, and with only having 200 millilitres of fluid in, it's not worth not changing it on a regular occasion. Like I say, I do mine every 200 miles. Doesn't seem a lot, but it's a damn sight cheaper than replacing bearings, seals and parts in that differential. One more thing I want to say is when you've finished, the oil you've got in your oil drain container, put it into an old gallon oil tin and dispose of it correctly at the local tip. They all have an oil bank. So that oil is now safe in a sealed container, can't contaminate. Your drain tin's clean, dispose of it correctly. Thanks for watching, and I hope this is going to help somebody out there to change your on-demand fluid. Thank you for watching.